You have to be able to add and subtract. You got to know how much money you're getting. You got to know how much money you're losing. Multiplication and division are really, to me, just shorter ways of doing addition and subtraction. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Jay's Perspective. And today I wanted to ask you guys, how much of school do we really use? Okay. So, in one of my previous videos, I mentioned to you guys that I'm not the biggest fan of school. I didn't like going to school really any of the years that I went. I didn't enjoy going to college, but I did it anyway. And I don't know, school just has always been a burden to me, something I really hated to do. And obviously, we all go to school because, I don't know, we need this basic information that we need to learn so we're able to function in the real world as adults, right? So I get that. I'm not knocking school in the sense that, we do have to use a certain amount of knowledge and apply a certain amount of things that we learn in school in order to live out our adult lives. It's there to prepare us for the real world in a sense. But here's my problem, and this video is geared more towards asking y'all a question. It's not, I'm gonna make my own point, but I also want you guys to make your points down in the comment section below, because I really want you to answer and you to tell me, how much of school do we really use? So I'm gonna give you my viewpoint on how much of school do we really use and what's useful to me, what's useless to me. So I'll start off by saying this. I think the most useful part of school is elementary, and everything that we learn in elementary school, right? I think that is extremely useful because I think the basics in all aspects of life is important. I believe you have to have a strong foundation in order to become advanced in anything in life, right? You have to have a strong foundation. You can't just say, I want to skip on to the most advanced variation of something without having a strong foundation. So our foundation, our basics is everything, not just like with school, but literally everything in life, every skill you want to learn, everything you want to know in life. I would advise you to go out and learn the basics and master the basics and really just go hard and focus on learning basic things, because that is extremely important if you want to reach your maximum potential and maximum development. So in school, in elementary school, they are teaching us the basics. They're teaching us how to read. They're teaching us how to write. They're teaching us how to add and subtract, to multiply, to divide. Those are all things that I think 1,000% we need in our lives, right? At every job, almost at some point, you're gonna end up having to read something. You're not gonna be reading books 24/7, but you're gonna have to read something. Somebody might give you an assignment or something at work or whatever, and they might email you what you have to do. Obviously, you got to be able to read the email. You got emails, right? That's how a lot of messaging happens nowadays when in the professional capacity, right? You get emails, you have to be able to read it, you have to be able to write, physically write things, but also to type and know how to write back and speak English or whatever language you speak back to whoever is writing you. You have to know how to respond. So obviously, on a day-to-day basis, yes, when it comes to reading and writing, we have to know how to read the emails we get. We have to know how to write them back to people. Obvious. That's easy comprehension, things that we absolutely need 100% from school, right? In terms of math, adding, subtracting, dividing, and multiplying, you absolutely need the basics of math. The basics, you absolutely 10,000% need that throughout your life, because our whole life is based off of money and the system of money, and that's how we live, right? If we don't have money, we can't afford to live anywhere. We can't afford to pay for our groceries and to eat and to sleep in a sheltered place, and we need shelter and things of that nature, right? In order to literally get everything in life that we want, everybody out here, everybody watching this video is after money. Everybody is going for money because money is what you need to trade in for something else that you need. You need money to trade in for an apartment. You need money to trade in for groceries. You need money for everything. And regarding money, obviously money is dealing with nothing but numbers. You have to be able to count money. $1, two, you have to be able to add up how much money you have, subtract how much money you're gonna be losing if you're paying for certain bills, if you're paying for certain groceries, things of that nature. You have to be able to add and subtract. You got to know how much money you're getting. You got to know how much money you're losing. Multiplication and division are really, to me, just shorter ways of doing addition and subtraction, right? So, you know, instead of, you do 9 times 3 or whatever, instead of adding 3 9 times, you multiply whatever, stuff like that, right? So it's a shorter way to simplify it, to get through numbers faster in your head. So in that case, we absolutely need math. We need the basics because we have to count our money. If you can't count your money, if you can't, if you literally, you just can't count your money, like what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You absolutely need to know how to do that. You absolutely need to know how to subtract and everything like that. So yeah, those are the things I think absolutely we need from school. Now, outside of elementary school, in reading and writing and addition and subtraction, I think it kind of starts getting to a point to where we don't need a lot of the information that's taught to us, right? So something I use that I don't really know if I've ever used it in after high school or whatever, or college. A squared plus B squared equals C squared, right? That's math, but I don't think I'm gonna need that formula for counting money or subtracting money or anything like that. I don't know many adults that use it. The adults that I know that use it are the ones that, maybe have to teach it, such as a teacher. If you're a teacher, you gotta learn how to teach it, you gotta know how to teach it. Or if you're doing something that requires extensive math and all these other things, right? So I would say all the other knowledge that we get later in life throughout school, after elementary school, is kind of situational and depends on what career path you're going to be taking. So I feel like they start teaching us stuff that you may not value as a person, and somebody might in your class, somebody might end up needing that information because they're going to go down a career path that needs whatever it is. They might need that formula. Somebody might need the extensive writing that they make you do in high school for your English papers, or in college for your papers and stuff like that. You have to know how to write, yes, but if you're not doing a job that extensively requires you to write essays all the time, to a certain degree, I think the essays, like, I give them a little more leeway. We could use the analysis that we learn in English class, like they teach us how to analyze things. They teach you to, explain why and all this other stuff. It teach you how to analyze things. So to a certain degree, you need that. But when you write in like 20 plus pages of certain things and stuff like that, I really think certain things are only necessary for people if you're going to go into journalism, if you're going to go into something that requires you to write that much, then of course, you're going to need to learn how to write. But the problem I have is they just push it on to everybody. They push on these mathematical formulas to everybody. The algebra, the trigonometry. Trigonometry, man, is crazy. The calculus, pre-calculus, whatever. They just pushing these things on to people, and it's just like, if my career path has nothing to do with this, then why am I learning it now? So to a certain degree, yes, you're gonna use what you learn from school outside of the elementary stuff, depending on what you're going to do with your life. Now, I also understand that if you're, just out of elementary school, you go into middle school. Man, guys, I'm constantly running out of space, so I'm gonna try to get to the end of this quick. But I think I was saying, if you're just out of elementary school, going to middle school, stuff like that, you might not know the career path that you want to take because you're really young, so you don't know what you want to do with the rest of your life. And, they probably want to make sure that you're prepared for that. But I don't know. I kind of lost the flow of everything I said. I finished the video, but I lost all the space. But long story short, if you're going to do something that requires you to need algebra and trigonometry and calculus, then by all means, yes, it's great for you to learn that. But you're not going to need all the extensive writing, that they make you do in English class. If you're doing all the extensive writing in English class and you're going to do something in journalism or something like that, you might not need all the formulas that they're giving you in math. So it really just depends on your path. But I just really want you guys to tell me down below in the comment section, how much of school do you guys think that we really use? I really just think we primarily use the elementary stuff, and to a certain degree the analysis that we learn in English class. Beyond that, I think everything is circumstantial. Do you think that school does a good enough job teaching us all the practical news and all the practical information that we need in order to excel in life, in our adult lives? Do you think that school teaches us everything that we need to know? So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Please let me know down in the comment section below, how much of school do we really use? Remember, this is just Jay's perspective. Everything that I say is just what I think. It's just what I do. You don't got to follow it. You do you. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch y'all in the next one.